2. Hey, how you doing? And welcome to another episode of Technology Tuesday. I am so glad you are here today, and we are looking forward to sharing with you some information that really got under my skin. And I think that um, when you hear about it, this is something that you definitely need to be aware of. So I want to thank you guys for tuning in. I want to thank all of our syndication partners. If you are watching this from one of our groups, I want to thank all of our syndication partners, and I want you to go ahead and invite someone to that group. Help us grow these groups. Your participation in inviting people helps us expand these groups tremendously. So go ahead and figure out who is it that you know who could benefit from the same group that you are in. So once again, thank you to our syndication partners. Invite someone to the group, and we are about to dive into this very important topic that you will want to know about.
All right, all right. You know what time it is. It's Technology Tuesday. That's correct. That's right, folks. Every Tuesday, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I know you're probably wondering, like, what in the world could be bothering Greg this much that we had to dedicate a whole show to it? A lot of you have been following us for years. Greg is a mellow guy. He doesn't get upset about much. He kind of takes it, lets the stuff roll off of his back. No big deal. But this one issue has really been getting to Greg, and he wants to discuss it with us and share what's been on his chest, what's been bothering him, and just let you know, so you'll be aware of some things to watch out for as well.
Yes, sir. So listen, we're not going to hold anything back. I'm going to get into this right away. And so I've been a member of Amazon Prime for a number of years. Jerry, are you a Prime member?
I've lost count how many years I've been on there.
Yeah. So listen, Amazon is one of those humongous companies that so many people are part of. They built this huge plant right near my house with lots of trucks, and everybody's experienced the shift that Amazon has made to doing their own shipping, to being able to get packages faster. Typically, sometimes you can get things the same day,
Within
if not,
hours.
yeah, within hours. Typically now, and most of the time, most of us expect to get stuff the next day, and of course, sometimes it takes longer than that, but typically we get things very fast. And Amazon is a great company, but I noticed something, that how we look for products and try to find the best products at looking at their reviews, right? And so what I recently discovered, and you know shame on me for not really digging deeper into these reviews sooner, but I just was assuming, like most people assume, that the reviews were for the product that you're looking at. And the reality is, the owners of these products know that most people do not read the reviews. They just look at the number of reviews. So because they know that, they take advantage by doing things to make sure the number of reviews is as high as possible, even if the product they're talking about in the reviews are not the same product. Jerry, have you noticed this?
Yeah, you can see. Well, many times it's when a product has been upgraded or updated to a newer version. But many times when it's a completely different just product model, it's like a different model altogether, and you can be reading the reviews and notice that some people aren't even talking about the thing that you're actually looking at. They're talking, it's
Yeah.
the same name, maybe the same company, but it's a completely different version from the one you're requesting. The sizing could be different, the capabilities could be different, the number of ports that the thing has could be different, and it gets a little tricky to decipher like what product are they were referring to in the reviews.
Yeah. I think they have allowed for the sellers of these products to be able to change the product for that, because if there's a different version, right? But what I've noticed is that they will allow, because they will allow them to do that, the sellers will take advantage, and then they will have a product that is not even the same product at all, and they have all these reviews for it. So if you make a review for a headset, and then that company gets a lot of reviews for a headset, they can then change that to a blanket, right, or anything else, and then the reviews, even though it has lots of good positive reviews, they're not for the same product. And I think, and I realized that they are just literally taking advantage of those reviews, because most people will just look at the they'll just look at they'll just look at the number of reviews
Of stars.
and figure which one has more reviews. And so recently, when I was noticing that, I was looking for a product and I noticed the number of reviews, I noticed, I was comparing different ones, and then I noticed this one product, and this would kind of threw it off. For example, the number of reviews were between, like, 1,000 and 1,500, right? And so one product had, like, 1,100 reviews, and the other product had like 1,500 reviews, positive reviews. So I figured maybe the 1,500 one was better. And then I found this one similar product, and it all of a sudden had 8,000 reviews. It wasn't even close to the other two. And so when I went to that product and I started reading the reviews, it was like, this is not even a thing at all. It's like, it's not even close. And it was like, how are you allowing these reviews on this big company, Amazon, to do this? It's like, come on, I know there's a way for you make that not happen in that way. Like, you can allow sellers to update the product if it's the same product, but I'm pretty sure there's a way they should be able to not allow a completely different product to get the reviews for a product. I just think that's wrong. I think people need to be aware of it. And when I was young, Jerry, I was told, if you see something, say something. And so this is me saying, hey, shame on you. You guys should fix it. And if you guys have ever experienced this, let us know in the chat. If you're watching on the replay, let us know on the replay in the comments that you've experienced this too. And if you haven't, now that you're aware, you might be able to see. You'll be able to see some things. So in a second, I'm going to jump on Amazon and show you what I'm talking about. But Jerry, I want your take on what do you think the overall effect or result of this happening will be?
Great question, Greg. I mean, it really comes down to integrity. And when you have like these quote unquote loopholes, if people don't use the rules ethically, then there could be um, buyer remorse, and there's gonna be ramifications. Amazon won't probably much. Amazon probably won't. They're too big. They're really big right now. They're not gonna take too much of a hit. But the seller, for them, it's a long term problem. Short term gain versus with long term, you're going to start to see that people will notice it, and what they gain from it long term wise, people are like, oh, don't buy from this person. It's deceitful practices. A lot of returns. Like people start getting returns because they start to feel that they were misled. Now just it brings down your score. So in a short term, the person thinks they're getting over, but it basically looks like the beginning of another American Greed episode. You see these episodes where it's like, well, how did this even happen? And usually it starts with something small the person thought they can get away with, and then it starts to roll into something much bigger problem. I mean, Amazon, if they want to maintain the integrity of their site, I mean, I know they're so huge right now. It's almost like, what can be done to take down Amazon. But we've seen companies that have been extremely large over a period of time. When people start to get disgruntled or upset or feel like they can't trust them anymore, they will go someplace else, and it's been the downfall of those organizations. So if they
I
clean it up, and they catch it, they see people using this loophole, then it'll be beneficial to the fan base that they've built. But if it continues to persist over time, it'll be the downfall of all the parties involved.
Yeah, I think that
Greg, we lost your audio.
sorry about that. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we get.
All right, good. Thank you, sir. Listen, I think that if you look at just Amazon, um, and how that plays effect to them, but I'm thinking bigger. I'm thinking like, listen, if everyone starts to realize that they can't trust the reviews, that distrust is going to not be just on Amazon, it's going to be on all reviews, right? Because it's like, well, if Amazon can do it, How can I trust any reviews? And now, if we're not trusting the reviews online, right? How is that going to affect how's that going to affect you in your decision making? Because now you're going to question a lot of the things you see online when it comes to those reviews, because we know they can be misleading, right? And so I think that on a bigger scale, because reviews in the past have been so important in allowing us to determine what would be the best decision based on others' experience. And now, how can we trust that other experience when we're seeing they're saying these this has so many this has this has so many people that give it 5 stars, right? Well, did that many people give it 5 stars? Because when I dug deep, I saw this one product and it had like 1,500 positive reviews, right? And then when I started reading the reviews, after the first couple, the other reviews were for some other completely different product. And so then when I went and took the company name and put it in Google and found a product online with just outside of Amazon, the reviews were terrible, right? And it was like it was such a difference. It wasn't like even close. It was like very, very. It wasn't even close, Jerry. It was just it just was bad.
Well, really great. I believe it goes back to people's buying habits. If you, the, what you're describing is called convenience, and it's been convenient for people to look at the social proof, right, what other people are saying, and make a buying decision. However, for years, I mean, both of us are wise enough in years to remember when there was no Amazon, when there was no internet, and there were no reviews. You would go to the store, you would buy a product. There was nobody there saying, okay, 15,000 users have used this product and you should get it. You just went in there and you saw it. You may talk to the salesperson and you would get it. Because of the internet and how it's connected us all, it made people more reliant on what other people are saying to build trust within the product. So, what I see, to your point, is there are skeptics already of reviews, right? Some people are thinking, this just takes it to another level. There are already people who are like believing that reviews are fake because people can buy reviews, right? You can hire somebody to write a review for you based on a product. You give them a product and say, "Hey, I'll give you a couple dollars if you write a good review for me," right? That's been going on for years.
Yep,
This just
yep,
takes it to this takes it to the next level because now it's like they're not getting reviews for the one product. It's almost like they're getting a universal reviews. It's like you go to a restaurant and the restaurant's getting reviews for the whole restaurant, not just that one dish. But then they apply the review just to the one dish that you're trying to order, and you're thinking like, man, everybody said this dish was great, but it wasn't. They could have ordered something else, and this is their worst dish. So what I see based on your point is that it will change or shift our buying habits to being more critical to what we were before. Like we've been less critical because we're like, oh, I can get this product really fast. It's convenient, and a lot of people said it's good. Like, oh, over 10,000 people have used this. So now it's going to have to change the metric in terms of how you evaluate something, because for years we did evaluate products and services, but just from different ways. We didn't use the review process or the star process because you didn't see those things when you went into your Sears or you went into your Circuit City, or we go back to Caldor. We can name a whole Jamesway for some of us. We can name some of those old school stores that don't
yeah,
even exist anymore. You just went in and you would try to evaluate the product, and if it didn't work, you would take it back. So fortunately, Amazon has a return policy, so you can, if you're a Prime member, send stuff back if it's not. And if you live near a UPS store, just drop that joint off that same day if you can't get it. But what I would think, Greg, is it's going to change how people evaluate the process. Right now, people have been really looking at the convenience of certain metrics. Like, here's what I believe in, and these metrics hold true, so I've been relying on them. Now it's going to have to be like you have to be more critical in terms of what do I want to think about when I buy this product, and is it really worth it?
yeah. And I think now more than ever, we need to actually read through the reviews to see what people are actually saying because you can't trust the number next to it, at least on Amazon for now. So I'm going to dive into this. I want to show you this one. We can, just so people can understand it.
You
So
have to do your due diligence, right?
yeah, yeah. So look, this one is like 4.8 5-star, 1,500 rate, like 1,500
Fifteen
plus
hundred
people.
right ratings, right?
Yeah, and so it's like when you click on it, um, these first ones, from this month, right? This actually works for me, and she talked about how it worked for her. Um, it's a bit bulky, but it works. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Doesn't meet claims made. Okay, it's not so good, but still talking about it. This one talked about a chemical smell. This one said it was perfect. Um, this one said it was terrible. Looks good, like this guy's wearing one. And this one says it didn't work. These are in a different language, so it doesn't really help. Right, so those are them over. I'm gonna scroll down to some more. We'll just see if we can go to the next page of reviews. It's uncomfortable. Here's where I started to see it, Jerry. Look at this. Why are these reviews about vitamins and supplements, right? And this is like, what? It's like, this product is a chin strap. And then the reviews are for, vitamins and supplements. Like, you start reading reviews, it's not about, the thing at all. Like, this here's a picture of,
Right.
this is a picture.
Like protein powder.
Yeah, yeah. So how is how is these reviews that's for this chin strap to not stop snoring,
And they're
now
all
all
in
of a
different.
sudden
They're in
talking
different
about,
language, right? They're in a different language.
yeah, yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. So it's like, the reviews aren't even for the thing. So then I started googling it, like, what's really going on here. And it's like, so if you Google Amazon reviews for different products, you'll see that people started talking about it. Here's another kind of fraud that's happening, and this was posted in 2018, several years ago, right?
Right.
Anti manipulation policy for why do something not patch, like people's been talking about this, and it's kind of like right under our noses. So my thing is this is happening. Be aware. If you are really trying to do the research for a product, spend some more time and actually read the reviews and see what people are really saying, if they're saying anything at all about the actual product that you are considering. So no more just looking at all the numbers, because they're taking advantage by changing those numbers in their favor so that you would choose that product over another product by determining the number of positive reviews. So listen, this is just something that really irked me, and I wanted to tell everybody, listen, man, pay attention, because you don't want to pick a product just because you think it has all these positive reviews, when in actuality it doesn't.
Right. Which is why looking at when you go to the reviews, one of the things I do is I look at the pictures, because people
Yeah.
take pictures of the product. So like, do these pictures of this product match the one that's at the top?
Yeah.
Because in some cases it doesn't. It's like, you'll see, as you saw with the example Greg used, is like after a while the pictures were a completely different product, and when you start to notice that, you're like, something's not right here. And and then also looking at how old some of the reviews are, like the current reviews versus the older reviews, because you can filter out by recent runs versus not the recent ones. So yeah, you just got to be more critical when you go and look at these things, and not just say, because it shows you a number of how many users it was, it's it could be not an accurate number.
Totally agree. Totally agree. Well, listen, man, that's what I wanted everyone to be aware of, to be on the lookout for, and make sure that you are reading those reviews so that you don't, pick something that gave you a false impression. So
That's
be
right.
on the lookout for that. If you guys have experienced this, share your experiences. Would love to hear what you found in terms of reviews, not only for Amazon, but anything where you find out it could have been, it wasn't what it seemed. I want to know what you've experienced. So let us know in the comments, whether you're on live or if you're catching the replay. Let us know. Jerry,
And
thank
also
you.
share, let them great, like they can share what are your best practices, like what are you doing to protect yourself as a consumer, and how are you evaluating products when you're looking online and shopping. because the online buying experience is different than in person. In person, you can actually sometimes touch the product, see the product, but when you're online, you don't have that ability. So, what are your best practices? What share some of your insights of what you do to protect yourself as a consumer when you're buying products online from sites like Amazon?
That's right. Appreciate that. Thank you guys for sharing. We want to know. Jerry, thank you again for joining me today, man. Had a great time. Go ahead and take us out.
All right, folks, we're here every single week. This week, Greg had to get this off the chest. It was like, what's bothering Greg? So next week, we'll be back with some new Technology Tuesday tips for you, because it's always for us about that practical application, practical knowledge, give you the practical solutions for your business. So if you're not a member of the group, go ahead and join technologytuesday.com. That's right, technologytuesday.com. And we'll be back every week, Tuesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Take care.